Hello there, everybody. Welcome to match 5? No, match 4 of season 70 here in Taka. We have all this stuff. Disciple, King's Court, draw. Payload is weakish, but you do soldiers. You can salvage stuff if you get ahead. You can salvage disciple things. Like if you disciple and get a bunch of King's Courts, you can salvage them. You get ahead, if you get a good turn, then you can almost guarantee finishing the next turn by milling. Well, depending, but you can imagine even having a count. I think I like the investment as well. There's just something to avoiding the potential collision. The upside of the salvager isn't that high, I wouldn't say. Not terrible, but you can potentially get a pretty large number of favors. I don't know how much it'll matter. My peasant misses, which is a bummer. Goodbye, emissary. I whiff 5 as well. Guess I was gonna whiff 5 no matter what. Could do a crew. They're already playing fugitive, so we're probably gonna just die on that. But there's still some play left. Fortunately, it looks like they're... Well, they may not quite get there. I don't know what they're... I mean, if you had the emissary, you play it for sure. I guess they were just thinking about their buy. Our soldier probably misses, unfortunately. We're just really dying on the traveler shuffle. And unfortunately, there's not necessarily a lot we can do about it. I don't know, here you get another peasant. We're gonna just have... I don't know. Baited do? Baited on Desture is quite nice. Oh, I see. They just drew the disciple with nothing. So they don't want a teacher, which is fair. So they just tossed it, which makes sense. Okay, this is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I'm not really getting these. The sequence here isn't really going to work out to where it's favorable to me, but we're probably going to have to trigger a shuffle here. Not sure there's going to be any way to avoid it. You have to play it, so. I guess I could have gone poorhouse gesture. I don't think that's worth it. We get to top deck it, right? Oh, that's really nice. So do I have a peasant? Can't remember. I may still have a peasant. I guess it's not the worst thing to wait on. I'm not really gonna get more than 2 disciples probably. What? Can't who still has the peasant? They changed their Hakha has bought 2 peasants these turns and only exchanged one, so it must be Hakha. Well, the only way we're playing all of these is by native villaging. Gonna let us get a king's court anyway. This is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can either double set aside. It's gotta be double set aside, right? We still get a trash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and buy a king's court. Oh, that's brutal. Didn't find the... We don't really have a way to get to it, so we just have to play this, which is fine. Yeah, it didn't look good. That was really weird. Like, I had the bottom decks, but Hakha had the disciple whiffs. So that was kind of odd. This has everybody's favorite ninja. Guess I'm gonna open ninja. I get to play it next turn. Then maybe buy Puka. I'm not sure. It's either Puka or Amulet. Suppose there's no villages here, so there's not really... You can get weavers, and then that would give you squirrels, I guess. But you still have to have those in your opening hand, and otherwise the gains with them are not super good. Though there's footpad. Well, I don't know what this looks like long term. And I don't know. I guess I'm going to try the Puka. Ninja is obviously not super friendly to squirrel. I would have loved to have a copper and not the... I don't think you take another curse. Could be wrong, but... I guess I take the surge. This is still just going to be pretty messy. You have to expect that eventually the peddlers would run, but... You like really live... See, this is quite good for Hakha. You really live and die by the... kind of where the necro hits, and... But this lets Hakha buy a peddler, which is really nice. And get 2 trashes in. I don't even know for me... a buy really makes sense, but... almost get enough to do a... other peddler, but... This is really good for me, of course. Okay. That's true. Once you get the searches down, then you're just kind of living... it becomes quite easy to get the peddlers. There's almost something to taking the gold here and trying not to make... the peddler's empty. Not help, because if he has to spend 6 buys to pile that, and then still just gets 1 more loot than me, I can definitely see a world where just having the provinces works out better. But I could be betting on the wrong horse, so to speak. Trying to think here. Could go for a curse swap with Hobble. So we're betting on drawing some stuff later on. Oh, I thought I had the... Well, that's unfortunate. A footpad bottom deck? That's okay. I mean, it's not good, but we'll live. I'm unfortunately a little too mixed on the money versus the other stuff. I guess he's considering getting a silver. I don't know. Or maybe someone rang the doorbell. I don't feel great, but I don't feel horrible right now. I guess. Maybe I should feel horrible. I didn't. It's a little too all over the place. I think it's okay to go for the money, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm just a little bit over terminal. So we'll see. I'm surprised Hakha isn't saving. I mean, maybe Hakka's gonna go for a. This is where I don't know exactly what the play is. Oh, there was another peddler. I was like, surely you. But there it was, in the flesh. So, like, we could take a province here. Probably ought to. I wonder if we're, like, guaranteed to hit. Like, if we go this. I don't know what else is left, unfortunately. So it's probably not worth risking it. What do we get? Oh, I got a sword. Insignia amphora. Interesting. Like, we could squirrel here. What's better? Just to pick up the big hands and have the looks at 9, you know? Because we're racing. We're not trying to slow Hakha down. We're racing to 5 provinces or whatever. So if we stop him from doubling that, maybe it's worth doing. That may be worth considering. I mean, eventually this won't go through the whole way, but not this moment. Top decks of province. Is that actually good? I understand the idea, but like, is it actually good? I don't know. What if I didn't do a discard attack? I don't know. Just gonna say I don't know a lot. Hakka's problem, well, potential problem. Maybe you duration the amphora. And take one province. Well, but 9 doesn't. Well, it's like a half. I mean, I'm gonna maybe go for the bigger points play here, which is Crash Curse. Play Puka, hope we draw golds. There are the golds down here. It's just there's also Necro and whatchamacallit. Necro and the other thing. Footpad. So if I trash and go to 27, Hakha could tie. Almost certainly would tie, I guess. I don't know if I trash and Ninja and Duchy. I mean, Hakka's doubling. Not gonna be super great. With the Ninja being in hand. Probably need the points play no matter what. It does see a lot of cards with Puka, you just don't get to attack. Well, there's a gold down here. If I just lose to Province Duchy on this line, Seven played Amulet 2. There's 2 peddlers in hand. Necro. 2 peddlers, Necro, Province, Ninja, and you get to use the amulet for $1. You get to use the amulet for a card if you want. Yeah, this, I don't know that there's a good line here. There is more money in here. This is like Necro. I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, we can also play a longer game. We're ahead right now, but Hakha has the options with the Amphora in the long run. If I go to Hakha can double Duchy at the worst. But then things start to get a little hairy. Otherwise, I'm basically betting on Hakha not being able to province Duchy off this. Let's play for longer. There was gold or silver. I would have offered the tie. And if Hakha hits double, then we were losing anyway. So there's no reason to like worry about that. Did Haka take the money or the coin or the card? Interesting. Card can definitely be worth more than $1 in this deck if it lets you play more peddlers. We would have lost for sure if we'd used the curse gold. So that was good that we didn't do that. Could have. Yeah. I would, like I said, I would have offered the tie from this position, I think, but this is not terrible, to be honest. Aka's ability to use the plus buy in a super effective way is somewhat limited. I hope Haka buys the province here. I mean, I think the play is double duchy, but I hope Haka buys the province. I have a tolerably good shot at seeing something. Far from guaranteed, but not outrageous. We get to see a couple more cards. I will reach a point where, unfortunately, I am going to probably get to a point where I have to take a province, and Haka may just need to find the aim for at all. You know, it may just be province estate is going to be clearly winning. Got to top deck the green card. It's so funny to me. I really am not sure. I guess it's right. But you're not allowing yourself the chance to bottom deck these things and just have another green card in your opening hand, you know. That's your. Oh, I have a sword too. I forgot I had plus buy. Very interesting. This is like Duchy Estate, which is okay. We gotta do it right, the squirrel. There's not a lot of upside to going further. Well, that's not totally true. There's definitely some potential upside. But it's a little risky. Also, just squirreling when you can use it to keep attacking is a little iffy as well. Which so pulling this out also just removes the ability to let's not play it. We should hold the guaranteed province. It gives a duchy anyway. Maybe I have to discard the ninja on top. I wonder if it's just like if I had picked the, I guess I have to discard. I don't actually know what order you click on things to do the control the info. Like I don't have any idea how that works. This is also unfortunately a lot of the money. So I don't know what my hopes are. Well, I'm probably buying a province anyway, so I guess it's not critical. I do still have, no, this is basically all the money. There's a silver, right? There's a silver amulet footpad. And a lot of green cards, because we tossed. Yeah, we're tossing some econ stuff. Goes for that and the duchy. Okay. Yeah, that's about what I expected. They do have to hit 10 though, right? To win. I mean, I can offer tie, but they would need 10 to win. I mean, they can also just wait. That's going to be the other option. That's probably going to work. They haven't played there. If they have amulet and insignia, then it's just over. It's probably over anyway. I assume they were just counting. Oh no, they weren't just counting. Interesting. So but she still loses. To province. 3 pile. This is awful. Bet Hakha got it. Well, obviously I had no control, but there was, I think, lines where it comes out okay for me. I didn't totally hate what I did anyway. It would have certainly been way nicer to have, there's some turns where I hit like 5 where it would have been really nice to get a gold rather than a footpad or a second ninja, whatever. But it's fine. 5-2 is unfortunately quite good here. I don't know if this is correct or not. We will try it. Excuse me. I don't know what I'm doing here. Well, I mean, there's just, you know, drawn stuff. Basically, there's drawn stuff. That's pretty much, it's not a strong payload, but. We could star chart. I don't know if Minstrel is the correct top deck, though it's certainly a reasonable one. Maybe Lackeys is a little better. Maybe Smugglers just to put the Fear God in them, but I don't really think it's all that scary. So, you know. More Lackeys. Alack. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Well, this is a Smuggler's Raise bottom deck. We actually would have been in a pretty okay position if we're smuggling. I guess we wouldn't have drawn one of these coppers, though. Interesting. Gotta do the Minstrel again. Pretty reasonable. Now we're gonna trade good smuggling, as they say. I don't think they say that. Smithy is a good card. People have been saying it. This is just what I've heard. Smithy's a good card. It's a good card here. This is funny because eventually you don't. I guess Artificer. Okay, never mind. I was going to say something that was simply untrue. Unforgivable. Playing the leaf. Minstrels are pretty important here. It's how your draw is limited. I mean, you have a little bit of leeway with Lackeys, but at some point, you gotta support those little guys. But I think Cardinal's probably worth getting. There are some hits that could be devastating, or at least annoying. But you have to measure that against what a Smithy does for you. Or a Minstrel. Makes it a bit of a hard sell. Good news is you don't have to worry about making money here beyond hitting 8 minimally. Dude, discards 3, okay. We've got a shot of moving here. What in the world? I don't deserve this. Maybe I just deserve it. Sometimes you just have to say, maybe I deserve it. Now we've got these. It's gross, yucky, no good. I don't know what the artificer would have, what I would have achieved with the artificer. Probably I would have bought a smithy instead of a lackey. More smuggling. That's pretty aggressive. You're not gonna move through the deck here, but you do get minstrels out of it, and everybody loves minstrels, so you do get a little stuck. Maybe we're just gonna 3-pile. Maybe that's the real secret. I haven't tossed the estate yet, so there's a chance, I guess, that it's on top here. Have any of you ever charted the stars? It would be cool if at some point, instead of kicking off, because Hakha doesn't have star chart like a responsible person, if Hakha would, you know, draw a hand of coppers and smugglers, that would be fine. Be okay if that happened, I think. But I think we're actually in a bad way. Could empty the minstrels here if you want. Be the minstrel guy. You get them 7-3. That's a lot. That's just what people are saying, is that's a pretty big split. Gotta really commit to it, but I guess you can get the smithy. 1, 2, 3. If these are all coppers, I mean, I guess they must be. You can top deck smithy and still buy the last minstrel. Oh, no, I counted wrong. But anyway, you can do this too. Aka loves smugglers. I hope that there's something eventually to be punished for this amount of payload to what the draw currently is, I should say. Maybe I'm underestimating Hakka's draw. Man, that's a lot of smugglers. What is going on? Okay. New plan. About that. star chart. I didn't want to do it yet. I guess I should have used some of the... What can we do? Smithy, you're on top. So Hakka's got about 1 gajillion gains. Can I get a lackeys here and buy a province? It didn't ask me if I wanted to order put the copper on top. That's rude. I guess you put Smithy, right? Because you have the favors. Whatever these are called. They're not called favors, but you know. Villagers. I'm still waiting for the turn where you draw your 4 smugglers and don't have... Because they didn't top deck anything. I guess maybe they kind of did. No, they didn't. To be fair, they do have 7 of these, so that's not weird. It's not unreasonable or unfair. I just want them to dud so I can win. It's basically the whole story there. I wonder if there was a spot for me to get another smugglers and have a little more pile threat, but it's quite a ways away, to be honest. From where I am, anyway. Oh. I mean, it can get closer. Not much is clear, but... You assume Hakka's gonna buy a province as well. Has 1 copper trash, but still has the 2 artificers and 6 coppers. Hakka probably doesn't have to buy a province either, but it just might get a little awkward with the piles if you don't. Potentially. Oh, yeah, or you can do that. It's also allowed. Did they set up for a crazy dud here? Or am I crazy? Or am I crazy? Maybe they just discarded like a bunch of lackeys. Perhaps I am the crazy one. Possible. Now I'm just not even drawing my minstrels to do them. Gosh darned it. I'm not going to gain a duchy. I know better than to do that. I guess I'm probably just setting up Puka to win, but I have to play for a kind of a dud, right? Like there's not... some other world where this works out in my favor. Oh. I might be able to top deck a raise or something. I don't know what Hakha tossed with the. There's definitely a smithy in there, but I don't know what all these other cards were. So Hakha just like made a dud for no reason. Guess. Fine with me. I'm a bit worried that this will enable a win, but I think it's kind of hard. But maybe it does. It might enable a win, gaining that smithy. If I don't gain the smithy, then it wouldn't be there right away, but so it probably would have still been trouble long term. Yeah, they're gonna have the overdraw. Unfortunately. Shouldn't have gained that. I guess I probably still lose just on a later turn that looks similar. But maybe not. So I should at least play to continue. I was also lowering villagers, so they can play for the duchy line. Okay. I mean, I wasn't even very good at gaining provinces, to be honest. So I think I would have gotten I don't think I'm getting to half VP, to be honest. Like where does that come from? Like if they, and even if they don't have a win here, if they don't go for it, like if they don't go for a win here because it's not there, I imagine it's there, but I still can't end my next turn either. So There's just nothing to do. I don't believe. Even with the dud, I didn't have enough pile thread. I think it would just been difficult. 5-2 is not great. You just still open develop. I don't know. Another smuggler's board, though it's not. A lot of the nice things you can get are not smuggleable. It may not be much value above. Oh, they did get one. That was that gone. Like you can't smuggle the things. You can't smuggle the loots. I'm hoping for marquees and joust. Armor is not the best, actually. Well, it's fine. Innkeepers are pretty good, actually. I could scrounge. I don't really care about getting the merchant back right away. Yeah, you can pull one out. I don't think that's crazy at all. I'm not gonna do it, but I don't think that's crazy. Are those different in any way? that that undo isn't meaningful, right? Hammer bottom decking is a bummer. Chalice is a bummer. They did get an innkeeper. I'm gonna scrounge for a joust here, which is a little unfortunate because it is very smuggleable. But I think that's the play. The only other option there is to blow up the chalice, but I feel like Hakha gets more value out of that, out of the forge. Like you could not gain the estate, you could trim, but anyway, this removes. It's very similar card stop wise. So this will be probably an issue of the. We also whiff here, so that's bad. We find some of this stuff. Hakka's just playing the board, and I didn't really. I mean, I had a worse opening for it, but. And I can win if it's real lucky, but I can't win on this draw. I'm not sure I win on any draw, but I'm certainly not winning on this draw. Because I need to have like a really good turn that moves some. And this didn't move. And I'm just giving Hakha more stuff, ultimately. We'll play it out even though it's going to be brutal. Actually, we really don't need to play it out. That was he outplayed me for sure. Like I said, I didn't have a great split, but I didn't make anything good of it either, so. One could get ugly. You take a pirate? Or you go straight to governor? Or I guess vampire. I didn't see vampire. War chest is okay too. Actually, the 5s are all gainable. I mean, you probably not torture or tormentor on the opening here, but they're all gainable. And they're all good, so that makes war chest reasonable. But probably vampire. Vampire is sort of the classic. There's a path there on the opening, though it's also slow potentially. Now, if you hit it here, not really slow, you wouldn't say. I wouldn't say. We're going to end up with quite a few palettes. You have to imagine. When people start doing the governor remodels, the silk merchants are nice there. I don't know what you take. It's actually similar. Like Pirate War Chest Governor are all fine. Pirate's the weakest one, but it's actually, you'll react it a lot if you have it in hand, and there's tons of good targets, so just don't know that it's that scary. So this is only 2, so we kind of want to save the, either buy it now. I'm starting to think about the tour. The question is, do you have time? What things do you actually have time for? And that's a little bit weirder. That's for another. Yeah, we're gonna find out if the vampires pay off. They very well may. But I'm gonna try to skip on them. Which may be bad. Possibly very bad. You know, what did I buy? Puka also is in a better spot to just say, maybe I'll take the curse. Though it's not ideal necessarily. definitely think I'm gonna live to see. This is fine. Yeah, Hakka's holding his deck. It turns out trashing is good. I think I've lost 2 games in a row now due to that. Some would say trashing is, extremely good. Some people would say that. The Hakka can't get the palace points. Hakka doesn't have coppers. Failed to consider that, didn't you, Hakka? Classic blunder. I thought I used a villager a second ago. Oh, do I have 2? Do I have 3 of those? Wow. That's crazy. Don't you just go like governor? I guess you've got some vampires, so you don't have to necessarily, but anyway. What do you do, actually? You could add a pirate now. Possibly. I'm deluded. Tell us something we don't know. Am I right? Wait a minute. Wait 1 second. So Hakka, how much do these cost? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very interesting. Very interesting. These cost 3. These cost 3. Sort of. $18. Very interesting. But I have to score also. I don't know that I have a 4th stockpile. Well, I do, but it's here. Well, okay. We would have to get around to this silk. Excuse me. We would have to get around to this silk merchant. There's a tie now. But if I gain a gold, does Hakha have a copper? Shoot. I believe Hakha has 1 copper. But does Hakha already have a silver? I have 2 silver. So that's still just the tie, I guess. And if you trash, guess I just take the tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there a win? Like Hakha has a copper, right? Have I trashed a copper? Well, that wouldn't matter. There's at least 1 copper in Hakka's deck. If I had gone for the remodel early, but if Hakka uses it to score it all, then we know there's at least a curse in hand. So it's just not gonna work. Just barely. Because Hakka did have gold, so if I gave him a silver, he gets the point, I get the point. Oh, I can't buy... Yeah, okay. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. I need to be checked into an institution. Well, if I draw really good, sure Hakka will find a win here. Well, Hakka doesn't have the vampire, so maybe not, but a win may be a bit of a stretch. Oh. I was so excited for that tie too. I was chomping at the bits for that tie. Did I use my coffer? At one point I was gonna try to click on them, like I thought that was why I wouldn't let me buy the Silk Merchants. That is not what the issue was. Most definitely. Aka's puzzling though, which, you know, fair. Can win right now, go for it. Might as well. I've always thought winning is a good It's a bit funny in the sense that you don't have a win. You do quite a bit. I mean, there's some fear, or there ought to be some fear. Of using the governors to draw, right? Because I could kick off, and if I get to the stockpiles, I could pile. For sure. Now, you and I all know it's very unlikely. If Hakha starts drawing with governors, then that changes things for sure. So Hakha may just elect to kind of stop here, which I think is fine, especially if you're gonna like trade a bat out or something. You know, you get to have a little more threat for your next turn. Maybe you gain some golds. It gives you options to buy silvers for point. Well, not really. Hakha doesn't have copper, but maybe gives you some options to score with Palace or whatever while doing a pile out. This did not set us free. There's not a lot of draw. There's 2 silk merchants, a torturer, and the 4 governors. So it's not even half draw cards. I assume this. Well, no, this only. I don't know. Yeah, this wins. What was the big fear? He had the curse too. I guess if I have another silk merchant, it doesn't work, but. Let's try and get one on the board. This is okay. Guess you go silver research. Gonna be a bit nasty. Well, now it's gonna be. Oh my god. Alright. Well, let's just. Big breaths. You just take another silver? Everything's bad. Okay, yeah, this is nightmare fuel already, because they're going to play the research now on the estate. I assume. Maybe they bottom deck the research. They're not moving very quick, so it must have been that. I wonder if I just sack of loot just to be a little cheeky. This didn't really work out for me previously, but there is deliver, which means a loot and could be quite good. Can't hit these to save my life. Hit an estate to save my life. I would like to. Yeah, I'm gonna get. Can't. It's funny because normally you'd be like, oh, he bottom decked the things. It's really great, but nope. Yep. I don't know that this even looks much different if this is a sentry here. Like it helps probably a little bit, but And then the sword's gonna eat, well, research happens after, but sword's gonna eat delivers, so Hakha gets the best loot immediately. I'm gonna lose my mind. I wonder if it should just be another C chart on out of hopes and prayers. Innkeeper's a little better, but also be a research. If we get another sack of loot, there's some stuff that can be done, but this is nightmare fuel. Of course. This is super over. I wish it were not, but it is. The sentry skip would actually not have been that bad, except that Puka pulled sword immediately, which makes it completely untenable. And obviously just missing the 5s in general is super awful here, but it wouldn't have been unplayable with this if the sword was. I would lose. I guess, you know, I would still lose, so what's it matter, but I'd get another research here, I think. Something better. The snowy village is complete nonsense, of course. It would have been better off to just be another C chart. That was a purely stupidity click. I would have added, I guess they didn't have the money. I would have really been thinking about adding another pack of loot. I really needed to find the storyteller here. It's just got to be storyteller on top to even have a turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. Deliver is too strong, you know. That's a thing that we really failed to take care of in testing. Deliver is too absolutely bonkers. I just want to see Hakha empty the loots. I've got time. We might as well see it. Will that happen before the game's over? Probably not, actually. You don't need that much money to empty the provinces, probably. I don't know. But you gotta let them do it. I'm saying that like I'm not. I'm always resigning on these things. I don't let people do their stuff. I don't even know that Hakha cares. Probably not. I wonder that there wasn't a staff play, but maybe just didn't bother doing it. Empty the sack of loots, do it. I don't think I have a. You kind of have to play for people doing something silly. Unfortunately, I didn't have a way to use that in time. I don't know why I'm doing the puzzle box. It's stupid. When does puzzle box go? Yeah. It's a stupid thing to do. I don't know how many provinces Hakha can gain this turn. Some number. Because you probably don't have enough money to do like estates, storyteller, sack of loot. Maybe you do though. 12, 27. Not that much. 43. With 13 buys. You can play all your loots. I mean, you can use staff at the very least to play all your loots at the end. But I don't know how many. Whatever did I say there? What did I say? 27, 43. I mean, that's probably doable. Just trying to give us a chance to empty. We're not going to get it. We're not going to do it, but I never know about these kinds of effects and how they interact with militias, where some of them dodge it and some of them don't. I mean, it's kind of nice to have an interaction on an attack, you know, to say, well, maybe this normally very powerful thing is, you have to pick your spots a little bit more. But I tend to think it's good, but certainly feels bad here. I didn't play awful. One game I played pretty awful. But there's still just like that ninja one I didn't know about. I think I could have won it. What do you get up to here? Oh yeah, with the hammer on the estates, you get even more. I guess you were a little short money, or you needed one. You needed one hammer. Didn't need. You also would have been probably pretty close on curses, with just like gaining a couple of states. All right, that's a one for Hakha. Tough, but there's still 2 more matches, and we do have a 7-person. So if you kind of end up in the middle, you can survive sometimes. So right now we're dropped a bit below 500, one game below 500 now, which probably lives if we stay there, to be honest. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Take care.